"You need a home, and I need a mother for my daughter," said the lonely CEO to the homeless nurse. The rain poured heavily that night, drenching the empty city streets. Claire pulled her thin jacket tighter around her shoulders as she searched for a dry spot to sit. Once, she had been a nurse, skilled, respected, and full of hope. But after her mother's medical bills swallowed her savings, and a hospital layoff left her unemployed, she had spiraled into homelessness. She thought no one noticed her anymore, just another face the world hurried past. But someone did notice. Across the street, a tall man in a tailored suit stood under an umbrella, watching her. His name was Ethan Hale, CEO of one of the largest tech companies in the city. To the world, he was powerful and untouchable. But privately, he was a single father, struggling to raise his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, after losing his wife too. Illness. Ethan crossed the street and stopped in front of Claire. She looked up, startled. "You shouldn't be out here in this weather," he said softly. Claire gave a bitter smile. "It's not exactly a choice." Something about her honesty, her quiet strength, made Ethan hesitate. He had spoken to countless women in boardrooms, investors, and socialites, but none carried the same weary dignity as this woman sitting on the cold pavement. "Come with me," he said suddenly. She frowned. "Excuse me." He took a deep breath. "I know I sound insane, but you need a home, and I need a mother for my daughter." Her heart stopped. Was he mocking her, offering charity? "I'm not asking for that kind of arrangement," Ethan continued quickly, reading the doubt in her eyes. "I'm asking if you'd consider becoming a live-in caretaker for Lily. She's bright, but she's been lonely. She needs someone gentle, someone like you." Claire hesitated, torn between pride and desperation. Then she saw sincerity in his eyes, not pity, but hope. The next morning, she woke up not to the sound of sirens or rain, but in a warm guest room of Ethan's mansion. Lily ran in with wide, curious eyes. "Are you my new friend?" the little girl asked, clutching a teddy bear. Claire smiled for the first time in months. "If you'll have me." Days turned into weeks. Claire's nurturing nature blossomed again as she helped Lily with schoolwork, told bedtime stories, and filled the house with laughter. Ethan watched from afar, realizing his home felt alive for the first time since his wife's passing. But one evening, he found Claire standing by the window, tears streaming silently. "Do you regret it?" he asked. She shook her head. "I just don't understand why you chose me." Ethan stepped closer. "Because I saw a woman who gave everything to care for others even when she had nothing left. That's the kind of strength I want beside me. That's the kind of love my daughter deserves." Their eyes locked, and for the first time, both felt a warmth they thought they had lost forever. What began as an act of kindness slowly became a banda. Families stitched together, not by blood, but by choice. And in the quiet of the night, Claire whispered to herself, "Maybe I wasn't lost after all. Maybe I was just waiting to be found." Claire Wilson pressed her back against the cold brick wall of an abandoned building. The rainwater soaked through her shoes, numbing her toes. Just 3 years ago, she had been a nurse in St. Mary's Hospital, working long shifts, comforting patients, and believing her life had purpose. Then her mother got sick. Claire poured every dime into treatment, only for the hospital to lay her off after budget cuts. The bills consumed her savings, and when her mother passed, Claire was left with nothing but grief and debt. She told herself she was invisible now. People avoided eye contact when she asked for work. To most, she was another failed story. But someone noticed. Across the street, a man paused in the downpour, his black umbrella shielding him. Tall, broad-shouldered, with dark hair slicked back, he looked like he belonged to another world entirely. Ethan Hale, CEO of Hale Tech, worth billions, feared in boardrooms, and admired in glossy magazines. But right now, he wasn't looking at the stock market or his phone. He was staring at her. He crossed the street, his expensive shoes splashing through puddles, and stopped in front of her. "You'll get sick out here," he said, his voice steady yet tinged with something softer concern. Claire forced a laugh. "Not much choice, is there?" For reasons he couldn't explain, Ethan knelt down so he wasn't towering over her. Rain ran down his cheek, catching the streetlight. "What's your name?" She hesitated. "Claire. Claire." He repeated it gently, like he was trying it on his tongue. "I know this will sound insane, but come with me." She blinked. "What?" His throat tightened. He'd rehearsed this line in his head ever since his driver spotted her days ago near the office building. "You need a home, and I need a mother for my daughter." Her eyes widened. "Is this some kind of joke?" "No," Ethan said firmly. "I'm not asking for anything improper. I'm asking if you'd be willing to be a caretaker for Lily. She's 6. She's bright, but she's been lonely since her mother passed. She needs someone gentle, someone like you." Claire shook her head. "You don't even know me." He held her gaze. "I know enough. You're a nurse, aren't you?" Her heart stumbled. "How?" "I saw your badge in your bag when you dropped it near the cafe last week," Ethan admitted. I couldn't stop thinking about you." Claire hesitated. She wanted to say no. Pride screamed at her not to accept pity. But she also hadn't eaten properly in 3 days. "Just one night," Ethan said softly. "Please." A home of strangers the next morning. Claire awoke in a guest room, more beautiful than any hotel suite she had ever seen. For a moment, she thought she was dreaming. Then the door burst open and a little girl with chestnut curls ran in. "Are you the angel Daddy talked about?" she asked, clutching a stuffed bunny. Claire blinked. "Angel?" Lily nodded seriously. "He said someone was coming to help us. Are you here to stay?" Something inside Claire cracked. She crouched down and whispered, "If you'll have me." From that day, everything changed. Claire filled Lily's world with bedtime stories, warm hugs, and gentle laughter. She helped her with homework, taught her to cook pancakes, and tucked her in with whispered prayers. For Ethan, the mansion no longer felt like a mausoleum of wealth and grief. He began to look forward to the sound of laughter echoing down the marble halls. But one evening, he found Claire staring out the window, tears slipping down her cheeks. "Do you regret coming here?" he asked quietly. She shook her head. I don't understand why you chose me." Ethan stepped closer, his voice low. "Because you give without asking anything in return. That's the kind of strength I want beside me. And that's the kind of love my daughter deserves." Their eyes met, the air thick with unspoken words. Storms of the past, but peace never lasted long. Ethan's world was not simple. His board of directors whispered about Claire. The media soon sniffed out the story of a homeless nurse turned nanny in the CEO's mansion. Paparazzi photos painted her as a gold digger, a scandal. One morning, Claire overheard a board member telling Ethan in his office, "She's a distraction. If you want to protect Heltech's reputation, get rid of her." That night, Claire packed her bag. She couldn't bear being the reason Ethan and Lily were judged. But before she could slip away, Lily ran into her arms, sobbing, "Don't go. You're my mommy now." Claire's heart shattered. And behind them, Ethan's voice came firm, unshakable. "She's not going anywhere." He stepped into the doorway, his eyes blazing. "Claire is part of this family. If the world can't handle that, then the world can burn." Love reborn in that moment, Claire realized she hadn't just been given shelter. She had been given love, real, unconditional love. And when Ethan finally confessed, his heart hesitant, afraid, but hopeful, Claire knew she wasn't invisible anymore. She had been found. She had been chosen, and for the first time in years, she whispered back with trembling lips, "I love you too."